dog got flavor, and he got bars. Appreciate the love. And it looks like he had a ticket, unlike us. Let's start the show.
He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we
give
do?
the people what they want.
We have an update on LeBron James potentially passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the all-time points scored list. But we start the show with a topic I think we'll be starting the show with very often this football season, and that is the drama surrounding Aaron Rodgers. He went on our homeboy Pat McAfee's show and had this to say about his interceptions against the Saints.
I don't like to make a lot of excuses for interceptions. You know, there's some ones, there's some, ones you wish you had back. There's some ones that really aren't your fault. That one was entirely due to the double nut shot I took.
The double nut shot interception. He said that he took a right and a left to the midsection, which led to this interception. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' revelation?
I think that professional defender athlete should be suspended for the NFL for at least 3 to 5 weeks. Like, seriously, that person should be under quarantine for 3 to 5 weeks for doing this to Aaron Rodgers. You do not mess with the family jewels. That is not what Killer Mike meant when he said run the jewels. You don't play with that area. Now it makes sense why he threw that punt. Remember I told you, I've been saying it for the last couple of days. I was like, yo, he just threw it out there for anybody to catch it. Now, Aaron, I understand why. The weak struggles happen. All is forgiven, except when you play against the Lions this week. Because you know who we play on Monday Night Football,
I'm not
right?
letting Aaron Rodgers off the hook. So this is one play that he has a very unique excuse for. But what about the other interception? What about never scoring a touchdown? What about losing by 35 points? What about all the drama you caused in the offseason that potentially affected this poor performance for the Packers? The only thing going well for the Packers is that they play the Lions. That's the only thing that's going well for the Packers next week is that they play the Lions. Wait.
Absolutely.
Jalen.
What do you mean? And Aaron Rodgers didn't cause the drama. The Packers did. Yes. Yes, Jacoby. Yes.
Aaron Rodgers didn't cause the drama. He literally restructured his contract so he can get out at the end of this year. We all know this isn't a farewell tour because he's not retiring, but he's gone. He is gone. And when you're a leader, when your quarterback is not committed to the team and the franchise long term, that's not, you don't make a Super Bowl run under those conditions, Mr. Rose.
All I know is this. I appreciate unfiltered Aaron Rodgers family. It was the Green Bay Packers' fault. They took Jordan Love in the first round. They sent him into the season with no guaranteed money. He's been there 15 plus years and still wasn't able to make the kind of personnel decisions someone in his position should be able to make. So I understand him being unhappy with the Packers. And like I said, I understand when you get hit in the family jewels while you're throwing interception. Hey, dog. That don't just go away after it happened. What do you mean? That's only one play. No, that lasts 3 to 5 weeks. That's how long the player should be suspended. You don't just get over that.
Yes, you do. Another thing is you look at him in the post-press conference with the man bun, you know what I mean? And just like the bags under his eyes looking like me when my wife is out of town. The beard and like the hair. Like he's going through some stuff. Like when I saw him in the post game talking about it was only one game, I was like, it seems like you're going through some things, man. He really is going through some things.
Jacoby, you know who else was going through some things week one? The Packers defense. Because 25% of the time Jameis Winston threw a football, they ended up in the end zone. He had 5 touchdown passes. Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing D.
5 touchdown passes, only 14 completions. Like, that is insane. That's like 40% of the time he threw the ball, it ended up in the end zone. The Packers defense needs to change. And Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how to fix this, dog. First of all, you're gonna win against the Lions. We gotta get a haircut. You know what I mean? You gotta get a haircut. I need a haircut. I don't know about all the locks flowing out the bottom of the helmet. I don't know if that's what we need from you right now, Aaron Rodgers.
Hold on, I gotta introduce you to somebody. Our guy under center, Jared Goff. He told our fan base that we had a legit chance to win a division. Why are you dismissing what was said? It's
the
a
Lions
big
have a
game
legit
this
chance
weekend.
to win the division because the NFC North is the worst division in the NFL. At least they look that way after week 1. Jalen, there could be some changes in the AFC. The Chiefs are widely considered to be the favorite to win the AFC, but Eric Bieniemy is reportedly intrigued by the potential of filling that vacant head coach job at the University of Southern California. Mr. Rose, what do you think about the fit with Bieniemy at USC?
Eric B. for president. I remember when he played at Colorado, was a terrific running back. Shout out to my brother Charles Johnson, who was the quarterback of that team. So I've been following him for a long time. And you can't take for granted, in particular as an African American, any high profile job. So whether it's in collegiate football, where there are probably a handful of black coaches, or in the NFL, where there are probably a handful probably getting paid top dollar. And so the highest level is the NFL, and that's where I'm now seeing him excel, in particular with Patrick Mahomes, who we now see is a diamond that has an opportunity to go on to be one of the greatest players that we have seen. He's already shown that early in his career. Eric Bieniemy helped nurture that. What about Travis Kelce? He's going to go down in history as one of the greatest tight ends that the league has seen. Help nurture that. Same with the cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Not normally looked at based on his height as a wide receiver number 1, but then converted that guy into the explosive weapon at the position. And so I would think there would be 31 other teams, in particular those that need a head coach, vying for his services in the NFL and willing to pay him top dollar. Not barely getting interviewed like it seems like it's happened over the last couple of years. And like I told you, I watch the game and I pay attention to narrative. And I see every time something happens with their offense is give Andy Reid the credit, not necessarily give Eric Bieniemy a shout out. And so now, yes, I'm happy to see him in position to get the USC job. He really deserves it. And I know he's gonna do a good job, but I can't act like he hasn't shown me that he's earned one of the NFL jobs. So that is head scratching for me in a lot of ways.
He does not get enough credit for what he has done with this offense. I mean, look at this. Look at those numbers. First, second, third, first in the league since he has been the offensive coordinator. Of course, Andy Reid always gets a lot of credit. Mahomes gets a lot of credit, and they deserve it. But Eric Bieniemy does not get enough. And listen, I know he doesn't care about my opinion or my advice for him, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give it, because I would wait it out and get a head coaching job in the NFL. Some tells me there's going to be a few, maybe mid-season, or definitely going to be a few after the season, and he should be at the top of every franchise list to be considered. Urban Meyer's probably going to be gone after like week 6. Let's be honest. He can take that job real quick. Shifting gears, Mr. Rose.
Well, what you do is, if USC going to give him a blank check, like Carolina did with Matt Rule, then you have to consider taking the gig. Otherwise, I agree with you. You stay with the Chiefs, continue to nurture that offense, possibly get more rings, and then wait for the next opportunity in the NFL.
It feels like the NBA Finals just concluded, but we're only a few weeks away from training camp opening up in the NBA. And the NBA came out and said that they will not require their players to get a COVID-19 vaccination. What do you think about this from the league?
I think Adam Silver is a brilliant commissioner. And I always like to applaud the little nuances in leadership that he does. You know, it's like a tug of war. I learned this in life, right? You and I at a tug of war. You know, one way to win is to let go of the rope. See, I just let go of the rope and let you fall. And he does that in a lot of situations. When LeBron shows up at a tequila bottle at the finals, he don't find him. He don't say nothing. He don't make a big deal. When it's time to go to the bubble and you understand that the players want 29 messages on the back of their jerseys and Black Lives Matter on the floor, you do it. When you understand that oh, I want to create interest in the lower half of my conferences. So I'm going to create a play-in tournament for the last 2 spots to engage the bottom half of the league. It's a brilliant idea. And let me tell you what he's doing right here that's so very genius. We just saw the Met Gala, and a lot was being said about whether or not Nicki Minaj was vaccinated, and she decided not to attend. It had me kind of doing some intel and thinking. There are a couple of teams that play in New York City, right? And say, for example, you're the Nets, and a couple of your players are unvaccinated. If you're Adam Silver, you don't have to do the blanket rule and say that you want all of your players to be vaccinated. You allow the states to handle it because each state is going to handle it different. New York is going to handle it different from Florida, different from Texas, probably different from Michigan. So now it's going to be interesting to see if the unvaccinated players, for example, on a team like Brooklyn, will be able to perform in their home games. I think this is going to be a huge underbelly to the start of the NBA season.
Absolutely. The policy in New York is if you are even to attend, if you're going to go in the Barclays Center, you have to show proof of vaccination, and that includes employees, which also includes the players. Are you suggesting that perhaps some of the marquee names in the tri-state area potentially are unvaccinated and could run into a situation where they're to play in Barclays?
Like Public Enemy once said, I tried to help you all I can, but I can't do nothing for you, man.
That's a story that we will keep our eye on as we get closer to training camp. And remember where? You heard it first on Jalen Jacoby. Jalen Rose, Rick Ross.
Rose!
For his son, William. And the present he gave his son, William, on his 16th birthday was a Wingstop. No, not wings. Like, didn't get him some wings. Got him a Wingstop for his birthday. What do you think about this bouse move?
Feeding lemon pepper. And shout to Wingstop, who sponsor lunch.
Live above the Heineken River Deck here in Pier 17 in New York City. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, LeBron James is about 3,000 points away from passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring record. And here's what Kareem said about it. I'm excited to see it happen. I don't see records as personal accomplishments, but more as human achievements. We all win when a record is broken. If LeBron breaks mine, I will be right there to cheer him on. Jalen, what do you think about him excited to see his record be broken?
You go ooh and ah when I jump in my car. People treat me like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Keep showing that footage because I want you guys to continue to recognize the trademark most unstoppable shot in the history of basketball that has never been duplicated. So much so that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ain't played basketball in like 35 years, and he's still the NBA's all-time leading scorer. I don't care if you change the shot clock. I don't care if it's pace and space. I don't care if you got guys launching three-pointers from half court. He's still the NBA's all-time leading scorer. And as I stand on the shoulder of giants, you see he's right behind me every day in my background with the Ali Summit picture. Has always been gracious, has always embodied being more than a jock, has never been the type of guy that thumped his chest and made it all about him. He was dominant his entire career. 4 championships at Power Memorial in college, in high school, 3 in college at UCLA. And that's just because freshmen couldn't play or he would have had 4. 6 championships in the NBA, 6 MVPs in the NBA, and as I mentioned, the signature shot of the league, the sky hook. At some point, somebody gonna pass him, and it's gonna be somebody that's in the GOAT conversation, and rightfully so. LeBron James is in position to potentially do it.
Of course, and when you talk, interesting because you mentioned the GOAT conversation, which Kareem should be a part, but he really only needs to play about 2.5, 3 more seasons. LeBron is going to do that. He'll probably play at least 4 or 5 until he's about 40, 41. However, if LeBron James, I can't believe I'm asking this, passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, do we have to readdress the GOAT conversation?
No, that ain't got nothing to do with Michael Jordan. That has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. And I just gotta tell everybody something. I'm not, and by the way, youngsters, 40 and under, you're using the term hating wrong. Just because I disagree with you, that doesn't mean I'm jealous. It doesn't mean I'm hating. It just means I played against MJ and I played against LeBron. And I'm gonna assess both of their careers. And I'm telling you, when you're using the word greatest, there's nothing greater than two separate three-peats. That's what Michael Jordan was able to achieve. LeBron has not been able to do one just yet. And the list goes on and on of other accomplishments. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is second on the GOAT list. MJ and Kareem, no debate.
Well, something tells me there is debate, and we'll have it later because it comes up every single year. But something that is fresh and interesting is reports out of the Houston Rockets camp where they would be willing to work with John Wall to find a trade partner for them. Now, Wall is due $91.7 million over the next 2 seasons. Is there any potential that they can find a trade partner who someone's willing to take on that kind of a contract for John Wall's services?
First and foremost, keep getting them checks. And the league comes at you fast. And he went from being a 2010 2 steals guy with the Wizards and their best player and running alongside Bradley Beal to Beal becoming the best player and ending up in Houston dealing with some injuries. They draft Jalen Green. They signed Christian Wood. They develop Kevin Porter Jr. So now they understand that they have something they can build on going forward. So you look at John Wall and his agent, you say, help us help you, and vice versa. They're looking for trade partners together, and I'm not surprised that they're trying to do so.
Yeah, I looked at this news story and I canvassed the league, and I just can't see any potential deal, but things can change as the season goes on. Now, Mr. Rose, you are a great basketball analyst, sports analyst,
Thank you,
human
brother.
being. But one thing you are is the senior statue analyst, not just ESPN, but of the world, and we have some statue news. It's very close to my heart. Jalen, I come from Amherst, Massachusetts, home of UMass and the UMass Minutemen, and some players I loved in that uniform. Dante Bright, Lou Rowe, Mike Williams, but none was better than Marcus Camby, and he got his statue on campus in my hometown. But it doesn't look like him, Jalen. And also, I want you to note the hairline as the senior statue analyst in the world. What do you think of this statue?
I'm happy for Marcus Camby. Congratulations. And also, shout to UMass and John Calipari, because even though they had allegations, that school still celebrates their Final Four banner and still celebrates their all-time great player, Ann Arbor. I hope you're taking notes. Now let's get to the statue. It looks nothing like him.
Nothing
it's
like him.
short, and he got an NBA basketball. like, hold on. He's short. He got an NBA
guard.
basketball. He almost taller than the statue right now.
And he's dribbling. Marcus Camby wasn't bringing the ball up. He looks like a distributor. Like, he looks like Magic Johnson.
He should be blocking a shot, grabbing a board.
When we come back, we will be discussing last night's versus battle between Fat Joe and Ja Rule. That was a lot closer than I expected. We'll break that down right after this.